أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. On this the 15th, it is the white days, it is the 15th of Shawwal 1446 1446 هجري. وما شاء الله تبارك الله, it is now exactly 2 weeks since we had completed the the cycle of the Yaqub age. Okay, mashallah, tabarakallah. Tonight, because it is the white days, it is important for you as adults that are going to have to die to understand where are you off to here in this metamorphosis of your ascension into conscious. Okay, death is conscious. When you die, you become conscious, but you have to activate the conscious in this paradigm, in this dimension. Okay, whilst most of us are following, whilst most of us are caught in the paradigm of hell because of the fear mongering, we are unable to decipher between what is dark and what is light. So we've turned the light on in the dark, but it is a synthetic light. It's not a authentic, organic, original asl. Okay. So due to that, the fact that you are using a fraudulent, a fake, a artificial light, you're calling that light God, but in your inner self, you know it is not God. It's just what everybody else is calling God or Allah or Rasul. But it's because of your level and my level of unconsciousness. Now, when we speak about the white days, okay, your mothers are not telling you this, your parents are not telling you this, your priests are not telling you this, your religion are not telling you this, because they themselves are locked up in hell. Okay? Your hell is a concept in your mind, and your Jannah is a concept in your mind. Okay? Until you escape, like the Yusuf allegory, you are Yusuf. Okay? You are either caught up in the prison of the two men, okay, where you cannot decipher what is the daughter that is coming into you, and you are then rather using your adversary. You are using the dark spell to analyze a reality, and in that reality is where you as a civilization are currently stuck in, due to you not waking up from your slumber, okay, your unconscious levels of persuasion and perseverance and perception. All right. People, we have to tell you the truth. Okay, it's no way we can hide this any longer from most of you people. Okay, the Quran speaks about it, but because you are living in a dark Jahannam's perception, so you are all the time looking on the outside, but the truth is, whatever you are doing on the outside is actually reflecting you on the inside. Okay, so since the lights was turned down 5 years ago, when you went into a resuscitation of a conscious and a physiological and psychological revamp and reset as a civilization, universally and unilaterally, your adversary has given you your adversary is your physical misled superficial self, okay, which is harnessed and decorated by what you call Zionism. Zionism is not what you think it is. You are an instrument of Zionism because you are thinking in everything which is pretentious and that which is made up. Okay, it is oorverblindery. Zionism means oorverblindery. Okay, it is how you are being pretentiously given a false impression of what a reality is. That is Zionism. Zionism cannot leave Earth because that is how you are given a misconception and a belief in a disillusionment. That is what most of you are. Therefore, you found a God in a disillusionment that doesn't exist in a reality. Okay? So, most of us, if I say you, I say us. So in the Surah Yusuf, it is how you are given your clarity. It is now the Badr. You are speaking now about the clarity. What the students of religion is for Jahannam, Deen is for Jannah. Okay, guys. Those who have studied the literal meaning of religion, that is for to cool your anxiety while you are in Jahannam, in the dark age, in the unconscious state. So you are given prophets, you are given prophecies, you are given things that are dead. You've never seen it, but you have to believe it because it's in the past. So if you are unconscious, you believe in something that doesn't have a validity in your presence, so you remain dead in the past, in the dark. Okay. Now, at this moment in time, as our conscious now, for those who has been given the qiyam, those who has been given the upgrade in the windows, in the system operations, in the psychology, in the physiology, in the way they understand life. Okay, this year you cannot ask the people in religion because they don't understand life. They understand a religion. A religion means those who believe in the dark, the jinn. You use the word jinn. Okay, so religion is for the jinn. Okay, you yourself spout yourself into that kind of dark age. Okay, that is an unconscious state. That is where gods are created, like the dollar, the reserve currency, which is reserved by the black house where the black oil is, and in the White House. Okay, so you're being played physiologically, psychologically, in a Zionist, pretentious, disillusionment that really exists, but inside it is only your reflection and your account of how deeply scarred you are. Okay, how deeply you have compromised your true inner essence, your spiritual um, conscious self. How did you sell yourself? How did you sell that child for 20,000 rand? You're watching something about yourself on the outside, but you cannot come to terms with it. You're watching a war of yourself. It's only about you, people. The Allah that you have created partners to is giving you false understanding of your journey. Okay, it's giving you a Zionist understanding, a disillusioned understanding of reality. That is Zionism, to give you a disillusionment of a separate, a apartheid. When you apart, you hate. Okay, so due to your level of our levels of consciousness and unconsciousness, we cannot read our books of life, people. Allah says, Ikra. He is sending the messenger to you all the time. Ikra, Ikra, Ikra. Then you say, ja man, ek het mos nou nie geleer hoe om my boek te leer nie. Ek is nog dik geroek. But you lost the plot. You couldn't show your children what is it all about. You couldn't show your grandchildren what it said. Man het vir hulle gesê, man het ashhadu alla ilaha illallah. You lost the plot, guys. You had to, in the last 5 years, find your own Allah. Because the Allah that you showed your children died in COVID when you closed your mosques. Okay? So you had to by now realize that you are finding a God in another country, and that God, you have substituted the Allah with another God which you believe you cannot live without. So that is the God of the dollar. That's the dollar, the reserve currency that took off all your capital and gave you a intrinsic value. You cannot live without money, but you can live without a God. Okay, be honest with yourselves. Please be honest. You guys messed up this last civilization, and we cannot be unjust to the next generations that is coming. Okay, you made money into a God, and you made your children believe that you cannot go into earth without a false God. Okay, uh, be honest about it, people. Please be honest about it, because it's better to live in honesty than to live a perpetual lie in Jahannam, as what we are currently seeing our children and our parents in this condition. Okay, again, I'm going to say, Your scholars are not telling you the truth because they have vested interest. If they must sell themselves short, they will have no jobs. Okay, and they're not given the upgrade from the heavens, basically. Okay, this is not speaking anybody down, people. It's just speaking truth. We need truth out there, and okay. So the wounded child, you psychologically, you are affected mentally, spiritually, physically because of what you've gone through in a cycle. Okay, so if you understand who you are, that is your psych. Yani this is your pure psychology, your pure Yusuf, your pure higher essence, then you will understand that nothing is happening on the outside. It's only being processed internally in your conscious. Okay. Now the script, the film, the video that you are living through is already in the Quran. It's already here. Okay. It's already downloaded onto your levels of ascension. So when you are still in the lowest form of your unconscious state, you attract yani what is the reality that is happening in your dark age and state of conscious. So you will attract the whole, your feminine and masculine energy, your right and your wrong, your balancing, jy is nie gealign nie, just unbalanced. Okay, so you will be attracting the data that makes you see what you are on the inside, on the outside. That is whole. You can see war, you can see children dying, you can see that is you. Allah is making that play out inside of you because that is where you deserve to be, in hell. There is no God there. No God will help you there because you have already failed your conscious exams 5 years ago. So you will be redeemed to the lowest form of Jahannam. That is what we call Darkil Asfali Minan Nar. That is when people had compromised their identity. They had taken a false identity, a riba identity, a idol identity, another Allah, a dead Rasul. It's crazy where you are living because Jahannam doesn't make sense because you are in an unconscious state because you are in awe and you are seeing the overwhelming people following each other, but because they are dead, they are not alive. Their conscious has not made it to the next age and the next psychology and um, the expanded conscious that is now being activated in a new realm of psychology. Okay, it's all in the Quran. It's in Surah Yusuf. Okay, it's allegories, it's parables. Okay, but you have to experience it. Nobody, there's not one human being alive on the face of the earth that has experienced it. You have to experience it. But until you cannot read your book of life, then you don't understand how you've been made into following dead gods and fraudulent systems that has made you into serving as a slave in a paradigm, okay, a paradox, right? It's all just in your mind, people. You are just not being activated to be liberated, okay? The truth, you're not going to find the truth out there, people. The mainstream, you have to just understand that in life, and as to how we understand the conscious with the use of the age, that is the higher form of intelligence, okay? You don't have to read a book. You don't have to be a professor. Most of them has lost the upgrade in this case, okay? Because they could not read between the ribs. They were stuck in the mind. This is an age that you're coming in since COVID now, that you had to establish a direct link with Allah, your Allah, not my Allah. You don't know my Allah. I don't know your Allah because you're not going to live with my Allah in Jannah. I'm not going to live with your Allah in Jannah unless our frequencies is coexisting. Okay? Unless we are from the soul tribes, unless we feel that energy, we feel that data, we feel that that attraction, then we know we are from one tribe because we resonate on one frequency. Okay? People, we are speaking a language which the Quran speaks, but you have just been told to it when you were a baby, as you didn't want to grow up. Now you believe in physical prophets. There's never ever been physical prophets in conscious. In unconscious states, when you are still in your physical entrapment, then you're going to believe that is in the Yaqub age. Okay, now you are in the Ishaq age. You have to decipher from what is authentic and what is synthetic. Now, most of you are living in a synthetic, yani fake, artificial, yani respiratory, intelligent, yani environment, because you did not have enough data, and you did not attract enough data to upgrade you so that you could reciprocate the understanding of the times that you are in. Okay, so you did not mature at the time when the age closed, so that you could be transferred to a new psychology, a new vision, and you could close your past chapter and open up a new chapter in the evolution, as what the Quran is. The Quran has got nothing to do with time. There's no time in Allah's world. You have just been caught up in Jahannam, in interpreting a book that has no time to it. The only person that contracted time was Shaitan. So you fall in that category because of not being able to exit that dilapidated time zone in your conscious memory. Okay, we are only conscious. We are only passing by temporarily. So when you fall in love with this, distractions, and you turn to, want to accomplish this, and you want to own this, and you want to run behind this, and that's the deeper you go there, the deeper you go in darkness, because it is simulations, it is artificial, people, it is fictional. Okay, it only happens in your conscious, not happening on the outside, because you can't take anything with you. Nothing is yours. You just play in conscious about your ego, like people are seeing, like, I'm driving a Ferrari, I'm wearing Louis Vuitton, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. People, it's only you telling yourself. You're just fooling yourself at the end of the day, because you're just pressing yourself deeper into a make-believe shift. Okay, it's only unconscious. So the deeper you go in, the more unconscious you become, the more you live in Jahannam, because that is now ego conscious. Okay, but now that you are now coming out of the 5-year cycle since COVID, your true colors, yani, is now going to be reflecting to the world. Okay, nobody's going to stop it. This is your hisab. This is the time where, in conscious, you are being taken to task. You are being made accountable. So you will now see the people for who they are without you having to find out. They will expose themselves for having, misled and abused power, having, abused their definition of who they are, who they justify. Religion is the first people that's going to go out of this. You can see how it's happening out there already. Nobody met God. Nobody understands the meaning of the Quran until today, because it is a different order we are going through. You need to rescript a narrative. There is no prophets. There's only prophecies now. You are living in a conscious age, not in an unconscious age. You must go into interpreting it metaphysically. You can't go back to a physical world when you closed your mosque already. It's impossible. The psychology will never accept it, but because of the denialism, you cannot break through, because Allah, the universe, the great mother, did not give you an upgrade because of the war. Because of the war that you are inside with. You are fighting for something that will never be yours. Okay, you are fighting for rights of something that is not happening to you, and you are hating people that has never ever done you, saying something, because of the illusion of your unconsciousness. So this is the spell that was spoken about in the Quran, if you could only read your book of life. So the due to you and my imbalances, like we cannot come to find peace inside. If you had found the peace, you had entered into Darus Salam. Okay, this is in Surah Zumar. It doesn't happen when you dead. When you dead, you dead. It only happens when you awoken in your conscious realms. Okay, Now here where we are at the moment, because this is hisab now. So it automatically Allah opens the eyes of the believers, the mu'minun. Because listen here, the Christians are Christians because you say they're Christian. The Muslims are Muslims because you say they're Muslim. But Allah didn't make you Muslim. Allah didn't make you Christian. We made each other Christian. We made each other Yahud. We made each. That's got nothing to do with Allah. We play God. So we must now remote control our fabricated God's truth. And that's bitter because it's not going to hold. The truth is much greater. Okay? So all that manipulation that has happened over the last 40, 50 years of a civilization now, where you made a money in, you made money, you made the reserve currency, you link the White House to the Black Cube, the Kaaba in your psychology. That's all going to spill out now. But because of your low energy, your low attraction, you can't believe it. You go into denial. You go into this ADAH system because mentally you've been disturbed, people. Spiritually, you are dead. Okay, you're not getting reception. You're not getting connection. There's no data coming onto upgrading your levels of understanding. So, whatever you see going forward now, people, before the Adhan goes is, it's all a reflection of the lower conscious of that human being and how you and I are at war with ourselves. We could not enter into the heart. We could not enter into Jannah. We could not enter into peace. We could not reconcile the the sore points. We could not heal the wounds. Okay, we could not adopt the child. Okay, we sold the child for a price. We sold the mother's daughter. We sold the mother's earth's daughters for a price, a capital. And that is who we are seeing, of Kelly, and what we are seeing of what is happening to political scenarios and what are hoping to political activists now. Each one are going to fight themselves because they're all of them are caught up in hell. Only people in hell fights people. In Jannah there is peace because each one is a collective. We are one. There is no separation between humans, and animals for that matter. Okay, in Jahannam, people will accuse each other of not being Muslim, of not being Islam, of not being Yahud. That's Jahannam. That's the psychology of Jahannam. Now, there is where you have been caught up in reality, but it's not on the outside. It is your level of where Allah graded you that controls your psychology. Allah controls your psychology, your vibrations. You were not given entry into Jannah. You were deemed as part of the people that resides in Jahannam, in that low frequency. You were not told the truth. You were wake. You were given this so that you could come out to the truth. Now the truth is going to come. Who is caught up in the physical illusion, believing in a disillusionment. Hell is not fire. Hell is being misled in the dark to believe the truth is, I am believe the lie is the truth. That's where you're living now. Your God has turned into a devil, and you are worshipping devils, not Allah. Okay? Get that straight, people. Get that straight. You must be made clear on this. This is not Allah's work. This is Shaitan's work you're on now. Okay? No God could help you. No God. Where is the God? Where is the Allah that had to help you, people? That Allah doesn't come when you're in Jahannam. Only when you come to Jannah will you understand the game. So most of us are caught up in Jahannam because we're still asking, why is Allah not helping the Palestinians? We rather do the work of God because that God has fallen asleep. It's gone. Your arguments, your reasoning, your rationale, it doesn't make sense to this new generation. So your God, you killed your own God. You shot your own God in the head. The psychology now is going to show how ruthless people are in Jahannam, how heartless they are, how they use Allah's deen to bring division, to bring animosity, to bring hatred, to accuse each other unjustifiedly. Okay? how religion had used politics, and how politics had used religion, and how both of them killed the real God, and therefore none of you know where Allah is. Okay, none of you are being told that you are residing in hell. Okay, in psychology. Okay, so those of us that has been upgraded, mashallah, tabarakallah, you can now see who are those who has been caught in the web, and who has been carrying the web around their necks, and who has been following blindly, and how Allah had contracted the shaitan to play you and I into that net that we cannot decipher anymore. Where is Allah, and how we deem Allah so useless and so unfit to run the planet? Okay, in Jahannam, that would be your conclusion. In Jannah, the game is completely the opposite, because it's above. Everything only happens above. Below, where you see the physical, it is the Jahannam's reflection, because it's temporal, and it is meant because that is the consequences of certain things that has been done for many, many centuries. Okay? So if you don't appreciate your land, if you don't know where you come from, if you don't know the value of your mothers and your ancestors, and regardless of their religion, but the mere fact that you organically had come from them, and they had born you, and they had raised you and cultured you, and your environment is the most holiest place in your land. Okay, your mothers are the most holiest because they have the Jannah with them. Okay, the Jannah is beneath your feet. It is your earth. It is the most fertile place, because that's the only place that lives. If you put in something, it grows. Okay, so because of your unorganic beliefs, and you went and transported it and exported it to other lands, you had lost and become a victim of your own genocide. You took sides, and you become a jinn of a side. Okay, this is psychologically that has happened to you people. Okay, the Quran told you about it. It told us about it, but and we want to believe that we can control our gods. It's all because of the money. It's all because of the dollar and the oil. Okay, the oil, the petrodollar, and the reserve currency, the fiat currency, that caused us to actually bring a partner unto Allah and kill Allah and make Muhammad dead. Muhammad is not dead. Muhammad was never physical. He was always a Rasul. He was always a psychology when you have to reach that level. Do you think Allah is going to shoot himself in the foot? We shot ourselves in the foot. Now we're busy believing in dead prophecies because we cannot read the book. We cannot read our book. So there is no civilization that has been in this utter darkness, believing that they believe right, but they can't even know how to forgive themselves because they have to pay for salvation. The God that you believe in is a capitalist God. It's a God that loves money. It's a God that brings division between rich and poor. Okay? You and I have been educated by the Iblis, by Fir'aun, and our psychology cannot withstand such uh, um, uh, uh, um, uh, victimization, because we have been victimized in our curriculum. We have been given the wrong, because we had to find ourselves. We had to find our own Allah. We had to really give our children the assurance over this last 5 years. Before you close your eyes, tell your child where to meet you, man. Don't be such a coward. Don't leave him unaddressed. Tell him where to meet you. If you can't tell him where to meet you, then you've lost and left him in the dark. And that's where you are today as a civilization. We cannot do this to our tribes. We have to take them home because we come from the mother. We come from the matriarch age. Okay, you and I are still stuck in the patriarch, but this is a matriarch age that is coming in, and the game was to be deceived. You were supposed to be deceived, but not to make it serious because it's just a game. Okay, it's a black and white chess game, and you're not supposed to understand. You're not supposed to fall for the white races and white race and black chaos. Okay, you had to understand where the center was. This was the game. This was the intelligence that was revealed. This was Jibreel. This was Idris. This was Mikael. This was Israel. This was Ismail. All of them came. Just we were absent all the time. Okay? We've told you the truth. Wallahi. We've told you the truth all the time, and now the ugliness is going to come out now. It's going to be uglier because you're going to claim in something that we know already. You are in Jahannam. You have already been, we've already been assigned to Jahannam. We can't. We must ask to come out of Jahannam. We mustn't ask not to go to Jahannam. We are there already. You can see what is happening in Jahannam. Governments Governments take charge of Jahannam, people. Believe you me. They are the custodians of the Jahannam. And religions are the custodians of Jahannam. You must find your deen. Then you're going to find the Jannah. The deen is the deenullah al-fitra. There's no name. That's next likachis, nama likachisi. As net fitra. The deenullah al-fitra. Allah will not give one nation yani, preference over the next nation. Everyone has access to Allah because it's natural. Okay, once you put it into a brand, that's where you cause the division. That's why we are living and suffering in Jahannam today as a collective, and that's why we were destroyed in the COVID period. You and I are still just in denial. When Allah makes a decree to close, we die, people. We have to die. Then you have to rescript. You have to now find the new truth. Now, most of you are stuck in this world and you don't have a story because you killed your own God and your own prophets, okay? Can't believe in a dead prophet, people. You've got to come into the presence to find that Muhammad is Noor, is a source of intelligence, of data, okay? As what Musa, Isa, Ibrahim, all of them are in that category. But you have to activate your higher conscious to find that equilibrium, to find that attraction. Okay, you are what you attract. So at the moment, the hate you have here, Allah is going to punish you for your hate. You are being currently punished for your hate because you are in Jahannam. So the hate you have for people you've never met, but just because of a screen, Allah punishes you because it's not Allah who punishes you, you punish yourself because you hate, and hate is not supposed to be part of you, but it's because of the different lifestyles we are leading. So just to give you an understanding, please, people, the situation is going to get out of hand as we finish this new course. But you need to come to terms with the truth is bitter, very bitter. And most of the time, you got to accept that you were wrong so that you can be guided to the right. Okay? Allah bless you all. May Allah give you barakat. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.